I am still up here in the loft, fanning around with the collection and looking like I've got a big hairy chest on my t-shirt. It's not, it's a Punisher t-shirt. Now this video is kind of a video response, and there's two great guys that I do watch regularly whenever they put out content, and that's Pete SNEStastic, and I've been following him for years as he's dipped in and out of his collecting journey from way back when he was going gung-ho into everything NTSC SNES, and he had an epic collection. And at one stage that did spur me on to start collecting both his collection, and then it went on to Jay's Cyber Snake 7. Seeing their collection made me want to get, and it weren't for nostalgia, but it was seeing their epic games and great collection. It made me want to get NTSC SNES games. That was kind of short-lived, because I soon realised that it's a pain in the arse. Bloody Nintendo cardboard drives a real premium. So but anyway, back to the matter at hand. So Ninja Bear Hug and Pete SNEStastic. You know Ninja Bear Hug. Hello YouTube. Such a bright, chirpy geezer, and loving his videos, even the ones where he's building a shelf and his quality game room. But I remember watching him way back when he had all his wonky shelves up in the loft, and it was nice to see he put up a sort of re-released his video on a bit of his collection, and it was much bigger at times than what he actually showed in that video. But been following him for years as well. Now both of them, and I think it was more of a VR type video from Ninja Bear Hug to the way Pete SNEStastic put it, that he's now getting into cart collecting, and he's going full out. As I say, following Pete SNEStastic over the years, he's dipped in and out of collecting, and it seems to be he's going proper into it again. And I hope he seems to be on the right track, because he's going for pretty much every bloody console, but he's cherry picking the games that he wants. They're his lists, and they're kind of fine-tuned lists for each console. And so he's got a selection of X amount of games for the PS1, the PS2, the PS3, the Xbox 360, and he's just trying to keep it to set amount of games, and then he moves on to the next console that he wants to. And so now he's getting more into, he's got I remember him picking up like Power SNES games, but he's looking to expand upon that now and sort of whittle down and get into more cart collecting, or cartridge based, so with the boxes and everything else. A Ninja Bear Hug, he's come back on the scene. Stu, absolutely lovely guy, the sort of guy you'd love to meet. His collection, again, his epic game room, just looking brilliant, and he's getting right into his shooting games with the old, whether it be a zapper gun, light phaser, you know, across all the different systems. He's getting right into his shooting stuff, but he's also getting right back into collecting. But this time round, he's not going full sets. He's going for collections of games across so many systems already. But he's going for multiple collections of games that are his list. None of this full set business. It's just his cherry-picked games that either he likes the artwork and has always wanted to give them a go, or games that he's always loved and he wants to play them again. He's not going mad, going for full sets. I do keep jesting with him that, you know, full set alert, but he's not going down that route. He's doing it for him, how he wants to collect. And it's great advice to collect how you want to collect. You know, having hundreds of games, and I don't collect, it's a bit strange, but I don't collect so that I can sit here doing YouTube videos on what I collect and what I've picked up, and this is all for me. I just do YouTube as a bit of a, if you like, a video diary of my journey. I did have twice the amount of games that I've got I've got somewhere in the region of probably about 2,500 games now. I did have 5,000 games. I've thinned an awful lot out and really fine-tuned the collection over the years. And I'm getting to a point now with the current state of game systems, games consoles, like with the Switch 2. It's only just been released and I can't see the point in getting one. I only got a Switch OLED towards the end of summer last year, and I'm really enjoying that. And I'm only playing, I mean, I've got it for the third-party games that I can't get on the Series X, and also things like the Marios and the main Nintendo first-party stuff. But there's an awful lot of like third-party, if you like, 8-bit inspired games that the Xbox don't get a look in. They're released generally on the PS4 and the Switch. So for me, the Switch is ideal, and I'm loving it. I've just got a new side-scrolling platformer, side-scrolling platform beat 'em up that harks back to the old days, and I am blasting my way through it and having great fun. But with regards to collecting, there's certain consoles now, I've fine-tuned it right down, and yes, I'm one of those crazy full set collectors, and I'm just chipping away. I haven't got much pocket money, if you like, but I'm a little bit different to Pete and Ninja Bear Hug Stew. My collecting is more, yes, I've got goals of full sets eventually, but not for all systems that I go for. I go for the NES, Master System, Mega Drive, N64, PS1, Xbox Original, and then I've got the Super Famicom, N64 Japanese, and then Xbox 360 and Xbox One, and then the Switch, and a bit of PS3 as well. But I'm not going for full sets on all of those. It's just probably half of those, which is enough, stupidly. But I've always looked at certain consoles as such nostalgia, like the NES and the Mega Drive, and for me, and also the original, the OG Xbox. And I've looked at those consoles, and for me, we all collect differently, and that's what makes this hobby great and YouTube great, to see how people collect and deal with either retro or new stuff or just games in general. It's great to have variety, but I've looked at particularly those consoles in that I've wanted to collect the good, the bad, the ugly, the damn right shit, just to experience everything that I could have experienced back in the day for that console. And that has meant that, I mean, I don't know how many titles into the NES set now. I think there's about 9 or 10 games I need for cartridges for the NES set, and there's some games in there. I mean, Stack Up is one I need, but because I collect only certain labelled titles, Stack Up, I mean, there's one on eBay for like 1,500 quid. It's not worth that, nowhere near. But it does mean that I can't just go out and spend money and buy every game I need, because there are games that are quite rare. So it's just chipping away. As and when I've got the pocket money, I can just dip in and nab a game. Like with the Mega Drive, 500 games in now. I think there's 30 odd games I need left to get. There's some big uns. There's some big uns, and I don't anticipate spending 500 quid to 1,000 quid on a game, and there's quite a few of those left to get for the Mega Drive for me. So I'm just going to keep chipping away. Likewise with the Master System, there's 3 games I need for the full power set of Master System games: Buggy Run, Power Strike 2 and Home Alone. Those 3 games, good condition, complete, is going to cost me more than £1,000. I haven't got that disposable pocket money to be able to outlay for that, so I will just chip away gradually. But I've just got certain consoles that I'm just chipping away at. I'm going to start enjoying them more. I'm not going for the latest greatest thing. I keep getting sort of tempted to go with a PS5, because then I can play everything from the PS4 library and any of the newer stuff for the PS5. But then I think, how much do I play the Series X now? Honestly, I've got 150 games for the Xbox and Series X. How much value is there to that for me? And there isn't a great deal of value. There's so many games I've got there that I've just haven't played. I've put no more than about an hour in. I could just stop collecting completely right now and I'd have games for life to be able to still play that I've never even played. Apart from if it's cartridge based, I've plugged it in, switched it on, made sure it works, and then not gone back to it. So I could literally stop collecting now and still have more than enough games for life. And that's if I played a different game every day almost. But with regards to collecting, I am just chipping away at certain sets. I have got side quests as well, and I've really been weighing up whether that's a bright idea. No, it's not. and I say side quests, it's things like the non-core collections. I love me PAL stuff. I love the idea of being able to buy everything for that system and experience everything for that system that I could have bought in Dixon's, Woolies, Boots, way back when Boots used to sell games. Need a little cheeky bit of protein. These are all right. 33 grams of protein, half a litre, bosh, milkshake. Chuck it down. Farm Foods at the moment, 79p a tub. I'll go in there, just hoover them all up, chuck them all in the basket, get a big mound in the trolley, but it's all good. Anyway, where was I? Tangent, any avenue. So yes, side quests. So things like the Super Famicom collection I've got, the NTSC NES cartridges that I collect, the N64 games, Japanese N64 games I collect. These are all detracting away from my core interest of collecting. And it does make, because I see the artwork on some of these N64 games, I mean, how cool is that? Look at that! I'm not really into Star Wars, but how cool is that? So, and it's pulling me away from my core sort of, look at that, snap, even more. The box art is epic. But really, it's not a great idea to have collections. I've got every one of those games in PAL territory, but because the box art is so cool, it does mean I'm venturing. I'm double dipping just because the bloody artwork is nice, and that's a mad thing to do. Because as I say, limited income, limited pocket money. I need to sort of focus on the core collection and the collecting. So yeah, I can definitely see where Pete and Stu are coming from, going for a focused collection of games that you actually want to play or you have proper nostalgia for. Good games, in your opinion, is the way to do it now. Not full setting, because it's often the rarer, the games people didn't buy back in the day, or the games that were even expensive back in the day and quite not released in big numbers. They're the games that nowadays, 20, 30 years down the line, are fetching stupid money. I mean, some of the games I've got, they're just, no one bought them because they were shite. 30 years down the line, because they weren't released in numbers that most games were, you're paying mega money for them now. And it's kind of a false economy. You're better off just setting up a console, having a multi-cart and experiencing the lot. But I must admit, certain consoles, I love me box art. I'm the only one that comes up here, but I like to drink in all the box arts, and you know, to me this is my little sort of Woolies or Blockbusters or Boots, and come up here and see the artwork and see it all on display, and that brings, you know, as much as I don't play games as much as I should, and I'm really needing to get round to playing them more, but that's a big part of it for me. And I can understand with Stu getting his collection, his epic game room now, going for games that he loves and he has nostalgia for and really wants to get into. I can wholeheartedly say he's doing it the right way this time round. go cherry picking all the good stuff and all the stuff that appeals to him, and getting the most money, the most bang for your buck out of a collection, and get stuff that you want to play, you want to enjoy, not just loads and games. And don't ever think it's cool to go on YouTube and you've got a fucking wall full of games behind you. It is kind of cool, but don't do it for that. Collect how you want to collect. Don't just have it for the sake of, oh wow, I've got this and I've got that. You know, it don't really matter. As long as you're content with it deep down, collect how you want to collect, and yeah, just get the most from your collection. Whatever you do have in the collection, whether you've got 10 games, 100 games, 10,000 games, what I would suggest is display them the best way possible for you in the what little or large space you've got. Display them the best way you can, because you get a lot more out of your collection with that. As I say, whether it's 10 games or 10,000, the way you display it and being in around it, you know, it's made the world of difference. Like with the Master System set that I've got, I changed the units beginning of this year or end of last year, bought some new units, and now I've got some front facing inlays. As soon as I see it, I smile, and I just, you know, I haven't got the nostalgia for the Sega Master System from back in the day. I only ever had Mortal Kombat. It was only when I started buying Mega Drive games and the Master System games were quite cheap, and I thought, oh, I might as well get some of them. They look quite cool. And then really I started delving into the library of games when the Master System Challenge was about. 8-Bit Boy or 8000-Bit Boy UK, Ollie did his Master System Challenge, and there was loads of us that got involved in that, and that's where I really got some experience with the Sega Master System and learned to love it as a system in its own right. Absolutely brilliant, because I was through and through a NES kid back in the day. So I've gone off on a few tangents, but all I can say is that collect how you want to collect, but definitely looking at how, like, the current or the new wave, the old boys that have come back into it, cherry picking the certain collections, games, whether it be new, retro, or any games. I like the way Stu does put it, that a good game is a good game, a shit game is a shit game, whether it's new or old. Good is good, bad is bad. You know, if there's nostalgia for it, it could be an old game or a new game. He's just cherry picking the ones he wants to go for, and that's the best way of doing it nowadays. Honestly, most people haven't got the incomes to be able to just, like we used to, loads of us used to 20 years ago, be down the booter or on Facebook, or 15 years ago more like, we'll be on the Facebook marketplace going around hoovering up all the collections of, come away bags of PS2 games for a tenner or 15 quid, and you'd have 40 games and a console. Madness. Not everyone can do that now, and stuff's not so readily available. But yeah, my advice, as well as their advice, is to cherry pick the collections that you want to go for, and get the most out of it. Anyway, bit of a, as I say, it did, they were sort of pointing that out as to how their collection journey's going, and mine's on a bit of a different path, as I say, going for certain full sets, but I can understand and thoroughly agree they're doing it the right way. Cherry pick what you want, and yeah, that's the best way of doing it. Anyway, check out their channels, Pete's SNEStastic and also Ninja Bear Hug. Go and check them out, great channels, and yeah, well worth watching. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking, I've got things to do. Bye-bye.